Hey everyone, Joel here. Today we are in Portland, Oregon, outside the famous Sailor's Old Country Kitchen. Yes, Old Country Kitchen. Here to do their famous 72-ounce challenge. Yes, 72-ounce steak challenge. Look, they got big steaks right there. So I will read you the rules. They have these very nice cards explicitly stating everything here. So you must eat 2 celery sticks, 2 carrot sticks, 2 olives, 2 slices of dill pickles, 1 regular size salad, all the lean meats and edible portions, so you don't actually have to eat any fat or gristle if you don't want to, 10 french fries or 1 baked potato, 1 slice of French bread, and either drink a coffee, glass of milk, or cup of tea, and all this must be done within 60 minutes after the steak is served to complete the challenge. You may have the steak reheated, but you take away from the 60 minutes, and that's about that. And if you do it, you get the meal for free. You also get your picture on the Wall of Fame, and if not, you pay for it if you fail, obviously. So that's pretty cool, but this is a very well-known challenge. This place in general is well-known. They're known for their big cuts of meat, not only the 72-ounce sirloin steaks, but they have giant 40-ounce porterhouses and tenderloins and everything. So it's really cool. I'm excited. Again, this is absolutely legendary challenge. So it's getting dark, so I'll head on in. I'll have some fun with these food. That's pretty much it. I don't really know what else to say, but Portland, Oregon, it's been cool so far. So let's go in, eat some food, and yeah, rules right here. Official, very official. So let's go eat. Alright everyone, so here we are with the steak challenge, guys. So the famous steak challenge. So this challenge has actually been going on for since the 1940s, which is insane. Again, there's been thousands of attempts. There's been quite a few winners, quite a few losers, that's for sure, both men and women. So this is an absolutely giant 72-ounce sirloin steak. We have 1 onion ring, we have the 10 French fries, we have the pickles, celery, carrots, olives, and then I had the salad. Scott actually had an option with a soup instead, so he had a soup of the day, which is a clam chowder. Then we have our 1 drink as well. That's pretty much it. A very famous challenge. Glad we are able to be here. Sailor's itself is a staple in the Portland area. They just celebrated 75 years being here, which is absolutely crazy. Multi-generational family restaurant. But that's about it. So, Scott, ready to get started?
Oh, yeah.
We also have some brand new steak knives, so I'm sure they're nice and sharp, but it looks very delicious, guys. So with that, let's get started here just momentarily. All right, so let us get rocking and rolling. How do we say the count of maybe 5, 4, whenever you're ready, brother.
2, 1.
Let's eat.
Cheers.
I'll probably start with some of these pickles.
Yeah.
It's actually a very good pickle.
Good girl. There you go.
Healthy veggies.
Mm-hmm. Dill pickles, too. Very good.
So I know Scott's not the biggest fan of pickles. That is a very good pickle. I'm just going to finish this salad as well.
French fries are nice and coated with the juices from the steak. Just like that. Nice creamy clam chowder.
Croutons are really good. Alright. Let's get into some of this steak. We asked for these cooked medium rare. I have some of their signature Sailor's steak spice.
Alright.
Very large piece of meat.
Never had a steak this big before.
There'll be lots of cutting. Tastes good, dog. Hey everyone, welcome to this video. Today we're here at Sailor's Old Country Kitchen in Portland, Oregon. One of the oldest restaurants in Portland, one of the most well-known restaurants in Oregon, and home of one of the oldest food challenges in the world. Yes, we are talking a 70-year lineage, heritage of this food challenge. So super impressive. So the challenge, as we said, is basically a very large steak. You know, it's actually pretty phenomenal and amazing to think that people, 60, 70, however many years ago, were doing and interested in food challenges. I don't really think about it, but we're gonna do lots of chill, man. So the challenge itself is a pretty, what I would call, traditional or classic steak challenge. A 72-ounce steak. Then you have a potato side. You can use, again, the baked potato or the 10 french fries. We both opted for the 10 french fries. You have a bit of a vegetable, plus a side. I went with a salad. Scott went with a soup. Crazy, this challenge has been here for so many years.
Yeah, 70 out of, I think out of 75 years, they've had the challenge for 73 years.
That is a very old food challenge. For the challenge, you are able to have your steak cooked medium rare or rare. There is no other way in which it can be cooked, and even then it still takes at least a good 40-minute cook time. So I think they care, one, about quality, but also about kitchen time.
I wonder if it could be possibly the oldest food challenge.
Honestly, it might be the oldest one I know of. I'm not sure on the big Texan style. Scott and I both went with medium rares, and we were hoping to become winner 700 and 701. And yes, while that does seem like there are a lot of winners, and it actually is a pretty high success rate, this challenge has had over 2,500 attempts. So there has been a very large number of individuals try this over the year, and while, let's just put it with that 1 hour time limit, it does appear that it is quite doable for many individuals. It tastes good though.
Yeah.
I like their steak spice. I asked everybody on YouTube, I said, where do I need to go eat? And everybody said to come to Sailor's. Very well known. I mean, a reputation lasts for 75 plus years. Traditionally, I would put this at an intermediate level challenge due to, approximately 5-ish, 5.5 pounds of food and the 1 hour time limit. But it being a steak, it does add some difficulty. There is a lot of active chewing. There is a lot of, more timely eating involved. However, with that high of a success rate, I actually am going to kind of put it as a beginner intermediate. And that's just because, well, time has shown that quite a few individuals can actually beat this challenge. In fact, it's, I think upwards of 25, maybe over 25%. So pretty crazy that many people could do it, but nonetheless.
It's a fairly large restaurant too.
It's huge. And busy. Very popular spot.
Yeah.
Very clear that it's a very popular spot.
We're here on a Friday night, right at dinner time, so.
The meal does cost $72, but I do think that that's a pretty reasonable price tag for what you get. Plus, you get kind of the experience. Like, you get to enjoy one of the oldest food challenges in the world, not to mention it is a pretty tasty challenge, and it is in quite a legendary location. You can either get your steak challenge cooked medium, rare, or rare.
That's it. Nothing but medium rare or rare, so.
And what was the medium rare?
How do you guys like your steak cooked? Comment below.
Down below. Okay, a little bit of Scott. The actual flavors itself were good. They cooked it on a flat top, and I was really enjoying their steak spice that they had in-house. For those of you wondering what I'm doing, I'm cutting a piece off, and then I'm saving me a little bit of time on some of the cutting into really little bites. I'm kind of using my hands, just kind of ripping it up a little bit. It goes pretty quick. Seems to help a little bit. We had a good number of patrons there watching, such as one lady who mentioned she was about 86 years old and had been coming here since she was a child. She also mentioned that she had never seen somebody successfully complete this challenge, although she's seen a lot of people try, so she was excited to see if we could actually defeat the challenge. So let me know if you think we could, by commenting #win or by commenting #lose down below.
So my drink went with a decaf coffee. Scott went with a tea. Oop, I had 2 knives going there for a second.
A green tea, yes.
But I believe that's all the information I have for you at the moment, so with that, let's tune on in. Maybe I'll talk to you in a little bit, and let's see if we can beat this challenge.
Very unusual for me to be eating with a knife and a fork on a food challenge, but I thought I'd give it a try.
It is a food challenge, which like a knife and a fork makes sense, and you kind of need, to be honest. At least partially. I'm definitely liking it. That steak spice they have there has some really good flavor. I have a very salt-forward palate anyway, so definitely enjoying it.
Looks like we're about 10.5 minutes in. I think I'm finished about half of my steak. Joel's yeah, around the same, a little bit more. He's got a few French fries and that onion ring for dessert. I was gonna save it. I don't know what happened. I had to have it. There's some very good marbling there. Very savory flavor. Nice and tender.
And this cooked anywhere. Just cooked properly. There's some connective tissue.
Which is not required.
Yeah, it is interesting for a challenge. Like normally they make you eat everything, but some of it's not even edible. So I actually really appreciate how you only eat the edible portion, so it makes sense.
A food challenge that makes sense, you know?
They want you to enjoy your food, enjoy your experience.
May not always happen.
And if you made it this far, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Remember to like that video and consider subscribing. Fun fact, they actually never gave us bread for this challenge, even though it said it may be required.
Believe it or not, I don't eat a lot of red meat, so this is a beautiful treat.
Most of these are challenges for me too.
Yeah.
Well, on challenges, we eat a lot of burgers. What's your meat of choice?
I think it really varies. It's like the food. I don't really necessarily have a favorite food. It just depends on that evening, you know, what I'm feeling like. I like me some barbecue ribs when I'm having some red meat. I eat lots of fish. I have lots of chicken. What about you?
I eat quite a bit of chicken, I guess. I like cows. Cows are my favorite animal. So pork's really good as well. Well, it's coming to the end of our meat. I got those plans. I'm really gonna do this challenge. It's a very like famous challenge. Very well known.
I tried to do this challenge about almost 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. For what is that?
But here I am, worth the wait. Definitely worth the wait.
One thing I really appreciate too is like you can tell they know how to cook a big piece of meat.
Right? Because it's tender all the way through.
It's just cooked right. You know, it's not overcooked.
It's almost like they've been doing it for 75 years.
Definitely. Plus, it's like a regular menu item. Like, you don't just have to do the challenge.
And I believe she said it was $72 for the meal, which for 72 ounces,
That was good.
it is.
$1 an ounce. Oh yeah. Connective tissue. Oh, fat in that bite? It was good. Let's go double check. It's all just connective tissue. Eat the fat, because I don't really care. Alright, there we go. I will say though, very delicious. Very delicious. Scott is right behind me. I had a big pile of beef juice. You know, to be honest, the rest of the steak didn't end. I was really enjoying it.
Maybe you should order another one.
I mean, I could. One thing is, it does take like a good 40 minutes to cook though. Can't leave my guests waiting on me. So let's finish up these fries and the sundering. Very moist fries, like you said, very beef juicy. Cut all these scraps.
A little shrapnel.
All the shrapnel, everything edible, part of the challenge.
That's it right there.
And we are done. About 20 minutes. Very delicious. I actually thoroughly enjoyed that. Love their seasoning. The great flavors. That's about it. Like I said, I would eat this if it wasn't connective tissue, and as I don't have to eat it, I won't. Otherwise, I would eat the inedible portions 100%. Because I have before in challenges, so I really appreciate them not doing that. So, yeah, that's kind of about that. Scott's just literally finishing up right at the end, and that's about that. So let's tune in as he crushes the rest of this challenge. Yeah, I really wish this was actually like meat. I'd love to eat some more of this. And like we saw the guy trim it himself. So it's kind of a luck of the draw, like what you get in your cut as far as what's edible and what's not, like if you get any. I do appreciate them trying to actually trim off like at least some of the fat cap, or really make sure again you're getting an enjoyable steak experience. You're not just getting like, you know, again, the essentially inedible portions. Yeah, I think we should do a 144-ounce challenge next time. Thank you. They just gave me the thumbs up, so that was good. Coming on 23 and a half minutes in, Scott is literally just finishing up, doing his last couple bites. How come you didn't get any, like, silver skin?
I think I ate it.
Did you? I guess that's fair.
I'm not a well-seasoned vet on the steak thing, so you know.
Well, again, most other steak challenges you have to eat all like everything, like including the sometimes even just like crazy, whether it be crazy fat, gristle, connective tissue like silver skin. But I mean, if they don't want me to eat it, I won't argue. I guess it's kind of the way to put it. Alright, Scott just finishing up here. Just finishing his, washing his last bites down with his tea. Nice, woo! Literally like just shy of 25 minutes, couple seconds shy. Dude, good job.
You too.
That was your first steak challenge,
That was
right?
my first steak challenge.
What'd you think?
No, it was really good, actually. I wasn't sure, you know, how that would feel to have that much meat, but I feel great.
It's good,
yeah.
right? So people often ask a funny question is like, how do you feel after a challenge? Well, to be honest, after something like this, I feel way better than eating something like pancakes or like something like really, really, really carb laden.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel much better. I really enjoyed it, honestly. The seasoning is great. Their Old Country Kitchen steak spice. In all reality, if I do right here connective tissue, I would eat mine as well, but
Yeah, whatever.
good for next time. But that's about it, everybody. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Really glad and thankful to everybody in Portland for recommending this place. Thank you to Sailors for having us out. Thank you for offering this challenge for 70-some years. I think that's super, super cool. It's really neat to hear about the history of this place. Again, it's been around for like 75 years, 75 plus years. You know, and they have known for their steaks. They're known for their vast variety of other items on the menu. They have chicken fried steaks. They have a variety of like chowders, and really everything. It's a very cool restaurant. Lots of banquets and stuff also happening here all the time. Like I said, staple in Portland. So with that, everybody, we do have our t-shirts. Cool.
Okay. There we go.
Scott hopefully has clean hands.
Yeah, I've got
Mine are a little lower.
cleanish.
But we'll let's show you these shirts. We'll open them on up. And this is what the t-shirt looks like. It says I ate the whole thing, which is pretty cool. So that's about that, guys. Like I said, really cool. Glad we're going to do this. Of course, the next time, say happy, healthy, hungry, happy eating. Any words, Scott?
Come to Portland, have some steak.
Yeah, really cool spot. Like I said, huge thank you to staff. So at that, until next time, say happy, healthy, hungry, happy eating. And we do get these $72 meals for free, obviously t-shirts, and maybe a wall of fame, or at least our like number. Our number goes up on the wall. I think that's kind of what it is. The great big sign at the front. So I think we'd be like winner maybe 700, 701, something like that. Lots of winners, but name thousands of attempts. So until next time, everybody. At that, just have a lovely day. Hey everyone, good morning. Joel Hansen here. We are in Portland, Oregon, downtown Portland. This is the Japanese American Memorial that we're at right now. Basically right downtown. Chinatown's this way, Old City is that way, all this stuff.
Portland is in a very interesting, in the terms of the lady at our hotel, transitional period right now. So I just want to show you guys some clips a little bit when we can. We have a little bit of time. I will say though, on this December day, it is very gorgeous down here. It is sunny. The weather is brisk and crisp. And then we have these big rocks as part of the memorial. We have this waterfront up here, which is very, very beautiful, I will say. Portland also has a surprising amount of complex roadways and/or bridges. So here we have, like, some kind of a 2-layer train slash, motor vehicle bridge. We have bridges over here, we have bridges down there, bridges everywhere, I guess you could pretty much say. But as we came down this direction, so as we came south, that's north, just roadways and bridges and complex roadways, that's for sure. So I don't know the population of Portland, but there's definitely lots of cars and lots of needs for complex roadways. But yeah, it's actually very pretty. So downtown Portland. So here we are close to Chinatown. Here's a big sign that says "Keep Portland Weird." It's on the outside of a cabaret. We've seen a couple gentlemen slash strip clubs around. Here's Voodoo Donuts. I believe Voodoo Donuts, if I'm not mistaken, it might have originated in Portland. If not, I know a lot of its roots are here in Portland. And then obviously it's expanded to across America. There's some cool, like, buildings and stuff down here. Again, some of it's a little rough around the edges, a little beat up. There's some happenings, such as some police and dealing with somebody right now. But like I said, it's a cool city to walk around. It's actually gorgeous. The sun and, like, the weather and everything. So there's some more views down the road here, and yeah, we'll continue to walk around a little bit. Definitely, like I said, some pretty cool slash interesting sights to be seen, and definitely never a dull moment. You can also tell where a block can also be drastically different than another block in a way, whereas it's a little rough around the edges, and then you come somewhere else and it's not quite as rough. But maybe we'll go check out Voodoo Donuts, the pink box donuts.